am in the podcast studio. It's almost done. And today is In the In-Between. In the In-Between is more about the economics of the decisions and the choices that we make and why we make those choices and what are the theories and concepts behind it. So our podcast is going to get great, and the hot sheets is going to be interesting too, because I've been doing market analysis for almost 72 months now, and I'm going to show you some of the history of what I've been saying and what I've been analyzing over the course of years, and we'll see if it holds water today. But today is about prospect theory. But today is about prospect theory. Prospect theory is super simple, really. But in a nutshell, we make decisions about what we think the usefulness of that decision will be in our lives economically. And in economic theory, we've often thought there's no condition on that particular idea of what is useful to us or not. And later economic theorists understood that it always does matter your initial starting point frame of reference. If you have $100 million, losing $100 is not going to be a big deal to you. If you have $100, losing $100 will be a big deal to you. Early economic theory suggested, strangely enough, that the loss of $100 has equal utility to everyone. Silly almost, isn't it? Well, one way we can test people's frame of reference when they're looking at homes with us here on 30A is to tell them a little story. And that story is really very simple. If we go around and look at homes and we decide that you're going to buy one, you found one that you really like, it's, let's just say $3 million. This is 30A. It's an area of luxury homes. We do all the analysis that we always do the analysis. We find that that home seems to be fairly priced, and you offer $3 million for it, and the next thing you know, it's closed. You enjoy it with your family. Perhaps you rent it a little bit, maybe a little bit more, but you spend good time in it and you build great memories. And that's important to you. And some time goes by, maybe 5 years, maybe 7, maybe 10. And it comes time that, well, perhaps the beach house is not the house you need anymore. Maybe you've decided it's time for the lake house. Maybe it's more time that the grandkids have gotten a little older and they're in their lives in California. And perhaps you spend time in California now, and a 30A home is not something you can get to as much. I'm not sure that I know how to control these cameras just yet, but I can then ask you a question or two. Well, let's sell that home. How much do we think we're going to get for it? And we do the same market analysis that we did before. And the market analysis yields that maybe the market wasn't super strong for 5 years. Maybe not super strong for 7. Maybe for 10 years it did okay. But at the closing table, you're not going to net very much cash over and above what you initially paid. Now, you had been renting it and maybe pulling some cash in over the course of years. And the question then becomes fairly simple. Let's say even at the closing table, you're going to walk away with the original $3 million investment, and that's all. I'm not sure how people would feel about that, but I can understand their frame of reference by asking them the next obvious question. Maybe put some comments below. Right now, what do you think the next obvious question is? And yes, I will let some silence go by. Put it in the comments. What's the question I'm going to ask them? They've owned the home for 7 years. They no longer need it. They no longer want to be here because their lives have changed. And at the closing table, they're barely going to get the same amount of cash that they put into it. They've rented it a bit and maybe put some cash in the bank along the way, but hey, at the end of the day, they're barely going to get their capital back. Maybe even lose a little bit. You never know. What is that next obvious question? Will you have been happy? Will you have been happy? Will you have been happy? That's prospect theory in a nutshell. A person that struggles to answer that question and give us that immediate yes, they're caught in a frame of reference that doesn't allow them to make decisions to bring happiness. Their measure of utility is different. The person that says yes, it's time for them to move on with their lives. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you on the hot sheets on Tuesday.